The music box sat on the shelf, its crank half turned, and through the silence came a voice she'd never forget whispering her name from somewhere above. Emma hadn't wanted to move. The Victorian house stood at the end of Marlowe Street, its paint peeling like dead skin, its windows dark even in daylight. Her parents called it character. She called it wrong. Something about the way the attic window stared down at her made her stomach twist. The first night arrived too quickly. Boxes cluttered every room, casting jagged shadows across warped floorboards. Emma's bedroom sat directly beneath the attic, and as she lay in bed, the house settled around her with groans and whispers. She told herself it was just old wood, just pipes, just wind. Then she heard it, a voice, soft and high, drifting through the ceiling. It sounded like a child humming, the melody broken and sad. Emma sat up, her breath caught in her chest. The humming stopped. Silence pressed against her ears until they rang. She should have stayed in bed. She knew that. But curiosity pulled her forward. Bare feet cold against the floor. The hallway stretched long and narrow, lit only by moonlight through dirty windows. At the end, a cord dangled from the attic hatch. Emma reached up and pulled. The ladder unfolded with a shriek of metal. Dust rained down, catching in her hair, her throat. She climbed, each rung groaning under her weight. The attic opened before her like a mouth, dark and full of forgotten things. Furniture draped in white sheets, stacks of boxes labeled in faded ink, and silence, complete, suffocating silence. Emma stepped onto the attic floor. It creaked beneath her. She swept her phone's flashlight across the space, illuminating cobwebs that hung like curtains. Nothing moved. No child. No voice. Just the smell of old paper and mildew, thick enough to taste. Then her light caught something. On a wooden shelf, between broken picture frames and yellowed books, sat a music box. It was small, ornate, painted with chipped roses and gold filigree. The lid was closed. Emma walked toward it, drawn by something she couldn't name. She lifted the box carefully. It was heavier than it looked, cold against her palms. A small crank protruded from the side. Without thinking, Emma turned it once, twice. 3 times. The mechanism inside clicked and whirred. She opened the lid. The melody began immediately, delicate and eerie. A lullaby she almost recognized. A tiny ballerina spun slowly inside. Her painted face cracked and faded. Emma watched, mesmerized, as the music filled the attic, sweet and sad and wrong. Then the voice came again, not humming this time, whispering close, right behind her ear. Emma. The box kept playing, the ballerina kept spinning, but the voice spoke her name again, clearer now. Desperate. Emma. Please. Emma spun around. The attic was empty. Moonlight spilled through the small window, illuminating dust particles floating like tiny ghosts. Her heart hammered so hard she felt it in her throat. She snapped the music box shut. The melody died instantly. She ran, down the ladder, through the hallway, into her room, slamming the door behind her. She didn't sleep. She sat against the headboard, staring at the ceiling, listening for footsteps that never came. When dawn finally broke, pale and gray, she almost convinced herself she'd imagined it. Her mother made pancakes. The kitchen smelled like butter and syrup, normal and safe. Emma's father complained about the plumbing, her mother about the wallpaper. No one mentioned the attic. No one asked why Emma looked so tired, her eyes shadowed and hollow. After breakfast, her mother suggested a family photo, first one in the new house. They gathered in the living room, Emma standing reluctantly between her parents. Her mother held up her phone, adjusting the angle. She wanted the staircase in the background, that beautiful old staircase. Emma forced a smile. The camera clicked. Her mother checked the photo, nodded with satisfaction, and went to unpack more boxes. Emma glanced at her father, who'd already wandered off to examine a loose floorboard. She was alone. She pulled out her own phone, curious despite herself. Her mother had texted the photo to the family chat. Emma opened it. There they were, the 3 of them, smiling in their new home. The staircase behind them, the shadows, and in the attic window, barely visible through the dirty glass, a shape small pale. The silhouette of a child standing perfectly still, staring down. Emma's blood turned to ice. She zoomed in, her hands shaking. The child held something. The music box. Its painted rose is just visible even through the blur. And the child was looking directly at Emma in the photo, head tilted at an unnatural angle, as if studying her, as if waiting. Emma ran upstairs, taking steps two at a time. She yanked down the attic ladder and climbed, her breath coming in ragged gasps. The music box sat exactly where she left it on the shelf. She grabbed it, checked behind it. Inside it, nothing, no child. No footprints in the dust. But when she looked at the photo again, the figure was still there, clear as anything. A little girl in an old-fashioned dress, her face a pale smudge except for her eyes. Dark eyes, watching eyes. Emma felt sick. She showed her parents. Her mother squinted at the screen, said it was probably a reflection, a shadow, something caught in the lens. Her father barely looked. They didn't see what she saw, or maybe they didn't want to. That night, Emma locked her bedroom door. She shoved her dresser against it for good measure. The music box sat on her desk, and she stared at it for hours, afraid to touch it, afraid to look away. She waited for the voice. It didn't come. Sleep took her eventually, dragging her down into restless dreams. She dreamed of the attic, of cobwebs brushing her face, of footsteps circling her in the dark. She dreamed of the music box playing on and on, the melody warping into something unrecognizable. She woke to her phone buzzing. 3 in the morning, a text from her mother. "Why are you in the attic?" Emma's heart stopped. She texted back immediately. "I'm not. I'm in my room." Her mother responded, "Then who is that?" Emma threw off her blankets and ran. Her parents stood at the end of the hallway, staring up at the open attic hatch. Light spilled down from above, yellow and flickering. Emma hadn't left any light on. She knew she hadn't. Her father climbed first, Emma right behind him. The attic was exactly as she left it except for one thing. The music box sat in the center of the floor, its lid open. The ballerina spun slowly, the melody playing soft and sweet. But Emma had left it on her desk, closed. Locked in her room, her father closed the lid. The music stopped. He picked up the box, frowning. "Emma, did you bring this up here?" His voice was tight, uncertain. Emma shook her head, unable to speak. She looked around the attic, her flashlight sweeping the shadows. Then she saw it, written in the dust on the floor, in small, careful letters. "Help me." The words circled the spot where the music box had been, over and over. "Help me, help me, help me." Emma's father saw it too. His face went pale. They went back downstairs. No one slept. They sat in the living room, the music box on the coffee table between them, none of them willing to touch it. Emma's mother wanted to throw it away, bury it, burn it. Her father wanted to call someone. Who do you call for this? A priest? A historian? The police? When morning came, gray and cold, Emma's mother took another photo, just of the living room, the boxes, proof of their unpacking progress. She didn't check it right away. Emma did, and she wished she hadn't. In the corner of the photo, behind the couch, the child stood, not a blur this time, clear. A little girl, maybe 7 or 8, in a white nightgown stained with something dark. Her hair hung long and matted. Her face was turned toward the camera, and she was smiling. Emma zoomed in, her hands trembling so badly she almost dropped the phone. The girl's smile was too wide, too knowing. Her eyes were black pits, empty and hungry, and in her hands, cradled like a precious thing, the music box. Emma showed her parents. Her mother cried. Her father called the previous owners. They didn't answer. He called the real estate agent. She said the house had been empty 4 years, that no family with children had ever lived there. Emma felt the walls closing in. That afternoon, Emma searched online. Victorian house, Marlowe Street, missing child. The articles came up quickly, old news reports digitized and uploaded. A girl named Clara, age 8, had disappeared in 1924. Last seen in the attic of her family's home. This home, her music box was found beside her bed, still playing. They never found Clara, but people who moved into the house afterward reported hearing humming, seeing shadows, finding the music box in strange places. Most families left within a month. Emma's family had lasted 3 days. Emma printed the article. There was a photo of Clara, black and white and faded. She wore a white nightgown. Her hair hung long and dark. Her smile was too wide. Emma felt her blood turn to ice. It was the same girl, the same smile, the same eyes. She went back to the attic that evening, alone. She didn't tell her parents. She brought the music box with her, her hands sweating against its cold surface. She set it on the floor in the center of the room. Then she sat down and waited. The sun set slowly, orange light fading to purple, then black. The attic filled with shadows. Emma's phone flashlight felt pathetically small. She turned the crank on the music box once, twice, 3 times. She opened the lid. The melody began. The ballerina spun, and the voice came, louder now, clearer. Emma. Emma turned toward it. A shape formed in the corner, pale and translucent. The little girl. Clara. She stepped forward, her movements jerky and wrong, like a film skipping frames. Clara reached out one small hand toward Emma. Her smile was gone now. She looked sad. Scared. Lonely. Emma didn't move. Clara's lips moved, forming words Emma could barely hear. Trap. So long. Help. Emma's voice shook when she spoke. How? Clara pointed at the music box. The melody played on, sweet and haunting. Break it. Emma understood. The music box was the anchor, the prison. As long as it played, Clara stayed, forever humming, forever waiting. Emma picked up the music box. Clara watched, her translucent form flickering like a candle flame. Emma held the box tight, then threw it against the wall with all her strength. It shattered, pieces scattered across the floor, the ballerina's head rolling into shadow. The melody stopped mid-note. Silence fell like a weight. Clara's form began to fade, her edges blurring into nothing. But before she disappeared completely, she smiled. A real smile this time, small and grateful. Thank you. The words were barely a whisper. Then she was gone. Emma sat in the attic until her parents called her name, their voices panicked and searching. She climbed down, exhausted, her legs shaking. The music box was broken. Clara was free. The house felt different now. Lighter. Emptier. But that night, Emma couldn't sleep. She lay in bed, staring at her phone, scrolling through the photos from the past few days. The family photo, the living room photo. In both, Clara's figure had vanished. Just empty space where she'd stood, as if she'd never been there at all. Emma felt relief wash over her. She closed her eyes. Finally, it was over. Then her phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. She opened it, a photo of her room, taken from the doorway, taken right now. Emma sat up slowly, her heart pounding. She looked at the photo again. There she was, in bed, visible through her open door. But in the corner of the image, in the shadows behind her door, 2 eyes stared back. Small. Dark, and blinking. Not Clara's eyes, someone else's. And beneath the photo, a message. She wasn't alone up there. The music box wasn't hers. It was ours. Your turn to play. Emma's bedroom door creaked open slowly, though she'd locked it twice. The darkness beyond seemed deeper now, thicker. And from somewhere in the house, faint and distant, a melody began. Not the music box's lullaby. Something older. Something hungry. Emma understood then. Breaking the box hadn't freed Clara. It had released something else. Something that had been waiting much, much longer. The melody grew louder, climbing the stairs, approaching her door. And in the darkness, she heard breathing. Small. Rapid. Excited. The last thing Emma saw before her phone's light died was the photo refreshing. A new image. Her room. Her bed. Empty now. And in the doorway, a crowd of small shadows, standing perfectly still, all of their eyes fixed on where she'd just been, waiting for her to come back down, waiting to play. If the story still lingers like a shadow in your mind, there are darker doors yet to be opened. Each tale holds secrets that refuse to stay buried. Subscribe and keep your light close. Some things follow you home, and some never leave at all.